What up? What up? What up, internet? Who you are, where you be, where you at, what you see. It is the Pop Cult Crew with another One Piece check-in. Yayo, Gaigo, Yayo. Let's hear it for the One Piece. Hey, I'm one of your hosts, Mark M.F. Jones, and I'm joined by.
This is Niels DRY.
And yeah, it's been a minute, since we had a One Piece check-in. Things are happening in the One Piece world, in the anime, in the manga, in the live action. We just felt it was time to give the people what they want. You came for One Piece. You here for One Piece. Don't act like all of you who act like you ain't here for One Piece. You secretly here for One Piece. So let's just get into it.
I
Nels,
I wonder how many people we put on One Piece. Like you and I wonder how many people we put on One Piece. But and by I don't know what math property this is. This is technically all you because your boy was a One Piece hater.
whoo, it's been a fight. It's
Hater.
been a fight.
20 years to get me. And now I don't even know how long it's been now, but like several viral clips later.
several,
Several
several
viral clips later.
One Piece collaborations, viral clips. Yeah, man, dawg, and like I was fighting with no arsenal because I tried to get you back during the Four Kids dub.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
like I was. What's the say about Hollywood? It's just me and her swinging on 20 people by ourselves. I was just like, get into One Piece. Come on.
Yeah,
It
and you
was.
were losing.
I was losing. It was a
You were
losing battle.
losing. And
But
so
somewhere around COVID, the tide started to change.
COVID and the birth of your son. What do? I read One Piece.
I was like, what's
Oh,
the
I
guy
watched One
in
Piece.
in the Greek mythology? He always has to push the rock up the hill and
Yeah,
it comes back
I know
down.
exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah. I
20
don't
years of
remember his
that.
name.
And for some reason, I got up there and the rock stayed up the hill. And you took it and you pushed it even more.
And now I'm just throwing it in the sky. I
Man,
wonder how many people we've like just from us talking about One Piece. I wonder how many people we've converted because the pop cult crew has been around before
yeah.
One Piece check-ins has been around. So, and I'm sure several of members of the pop cult have started
I
to
would say
watch it.
statistically, 10 to 20 people we've
Yeah,
gotten into One Piece. Just
and that's impressive.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
going because like you're looking at a thousand things at a thousand plus 1,100 episodes in front
Hey,
of you,
it's
and you're
the
like, "Ah."
pyramid scheme of One Piece, and then they tell their friends about One Piece, and then they tell their friends about One Piece, and we all it's a pyramid, so we get all the.
They just looked at the mountain and was like, oh well, Mark and Neil said it was worth
Ah,
it.
time to get to work.
I'm gonna give it a try.
I'm glad you brought that up, man, because clearly, clearly, you're one of my best friends.
Yes.
You hated One Piece,
Yeah.
and it didn't stop me
Yes.
from loving One Piece, right?
No.
And I just kept trying. So I say that because I'm not one of these like don't talk bad about One Piece. Hey, if you don't like One Piece, guess what? My best friend didn't like it for 20 years and I still I stuck with it. So like I don't care if
Yes.
you don't like One Piece. But after watching a bunch of clips, Nails, and just stuff on the internet, I'm solely convinced that people who criticize One Piece, it's either they've never watched a single second of One Piece
Mm.
or they've seen clips of One Piece, like old clips, and they're just like, "Oh, this isn't good." Because anyone who I've gotten to actually dig into the story has nothing but remarkable things to say about One Piece.
Y y yes. I think there are some folks who I do think there is a population of folks that have watched One Piece and like have seen a significant amount of One Piece. And I don't think they'll say they don't like it, but I think they'll say it's not my jam. And they'll have
And that's
particular
cool.
things.
That's cool.
And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But I don't think those same folks are saying this is the worst anime ever and
Yeah.
like no one should watch it. I think for the folks who just come in critical and like are trying to convince other people that this is not good, it's that camp that you're talking
Yeah.
about. Because if
Yeah.
you've seen a bunch of One Piece, you're not saying nah,
Yeah.
no one needs to watch this. You're like, nah, I get why it's just not.
I'm
for
just, it's
me.
just
And I
not for
don't think
me.
there's that many people. Honestly, I'm just trying to give the benefit of the doubt. I've maybe heard of one.
You,
One on all of our comments and posts was like, yeah, I've actually seen 300 episodes. You know, not for me, but enjoy. That's
you know,
I see like one of those comments.
and because you know, what's when you hear people criticize One Piece, you can tell those different groups apart. You can tell the people who have watched it. You
Mm.
know, I don't know, I got to Alabasta or whatever, and I'm good, right? Versus the people who haven't seen one lick of One Piece. They're like, why should I have to watch 900 episodes for something to be good? You haven't seen One Piece.
You
I
haven't seen
already
it.
know you have not seen
You
any
haven't seen
One
it.
Piece
You haven't seen
because
one. Mm-mm.
it is
Maybe
good.
one episode.
Yeah,
Maybe the first 5 seconds of the first episode. Maybe.
like, and I just like I don't understand. I mean, I get it. People like to hate. People like to be contrarians. People like to hate what's popular. But it's like all of us who love One Piece, we're like, okay, we still love it. And they're like,
There's
no,
you
but you
can't
should hate
stop
it.
me from love. You can't.
Naruto's better. You should
I
hate it.
I don't want to like One Piece. I don't want this. My life was fine
You
before.
think I want this? It just happened.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't have a choice. It's that good to watch this. I gotta see the end. Why do you? I don't understand. People think I'm doing this. I was a hater for 20 years. I would rather have continued to be a hater. That was my life. Want this?
And shout out to my boy Jamar when I got hit. I offered him the same offer I offered you to get
Yeah.
to Luffy help. And he got into One Piece, and I told him, I was like, "Hey, man, slow down. I know it's like I know 1,000 episodes seems like a lot, but I'm telling you, because when you catch up, it's different.
It's a
It's just
grind, babe. Man,
it's
it's
a
a
grind,
grind.
dude.
It's a
When you catch
grind.
up, and everyone who catches up to One Piece are like, I should have listened. I should have, I should have listened." But I couldn't help myself because it's the greatest story written in modern history. So I had to just keep reading it.
And the One Piece community does not care. Like they're going to talk about whatever the newest chapter is. And
Yeah,
so
that's the
we're
one.
like, hold
That's the
on,
one
what?
thing. That's the one thing about our community. It's like one on one hand, I get it. This is a 20-year-old anime, but it's an ongoing anime.
Yeah.
But we have no sympathy for like newcomers. We're like Elbaf, Shanks' brother. You
You're
know,
like, what? Hold on, what?
huh? What? They're like trying to catch up. What? Oh shit!
Yeah, my good. Yeah,
Laboon, Brooke.
like you can't go online. You can't go online. You can't look
No.
at anything. I think that's part of the reason I probably fell for One Piece because like I didn't really start looking till I think after like Water 7, I was like, hold on. This is I need some questions
Yeah.
answered.
Yeah.
like like what is this floating mountain? I was like, oh, what is this? This island floats. This is his like Thriller Bark messed me up, but like I was like, hold on, what? Let me Google things, and then stuff started showing up, and I was like I think I found out about hockey around then. So I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, they're ruthless. One Piece fans are ruthless.
I will say One Piece doesn't do itself any favors with its One Piece opening title. If you don't want to be spoiled about One Piece, do not watch the like little title, what the episode title is. They're like Ace dies on the battlefield. You're like, what?
Yes.
What the
Yes.
fuck?
Yes. Like the episode ends and like Luffy's losing. You're like, oh man, I wonder what's gonna happen. And stay tuned for our next episode. Luffy
Yeah.
figures it out.
Oh man, Katakuri's wrecked. Luffy beats Katakuri and joins the Straw Hats to go to Wano. It's like, oh
Yes.
damn.
Well, okay.
You're like, damn, what's
let's
gonna happen?
let's see how he does it.
Yeah. Oh man, dang, I think Kaido killed Luffy. Kaido's defeat. Momo returns. It's like, well, damn.
Oh man, how's Luffy gonna get out of this situation? Shanks returns.
Shanks return. I'm like, yo, you
Oh,
can't
okay.
watch no title sequence for One Piece, dog. They don't care. They do not.
Nope.
Toei does
Not at
not
all.
care.
Not at all. Not at all. All right, brother. So We got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
I think there's really been, well, so let's start with live action.
Hmm.
There's really been like one big announcement from live action, and like we know, well, sorry, I guess there's two. We know that the live action is going to come out in sometime in 2026. It was supposed to come out
Heartbreaking.
this year. I'm sure it has to do with like the showrunner needing to take a leave of absence for some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to come out 2026. I'm sure everybody's going to be hyped and excited about it. But during the announcement, we finally got to see what Chopper is going to
Our
look like.
boy, our
Chopper, our
boy,
doctor.
Tone E Chopper, cause it feels good.
Now,
Yeah.
well, I could be wrong here, but if we're going favorite Straw Hats and you take Luffy away, he's in the top two, right?
There was a time
Three?
Chopper was my favorite Straw Hat.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
like
for a long
yeah,
time, Chopper was
yeah,
my favorite Straw Hat.
yeah.
And then
He no, he's
Jinbei.
a fan.
Jinbei.
Jinbei's your favorite Straw
Jinbei's
Hat.
my favorite Straw Hat. Now he's losing it. He's not doing himself any favors. In the past two arcs, I've been very disappointed.
Come on,
Come
Jinbei,
on,
get in
Jinbei. I've been very
there.
disappointed.
Really?
Yeah, but Jinbei
Can I ask
thought
why is Jinbei your favorite Straw Hat?
because he's the only one with common sense
Nah, he
that
is.
Luffy
He is.
listens to.
He is. He is.
When he tells Luffy, "Hey, Luffy, we need to do this," Luffy's like, "Okay, let's do it."
Yeah. No bull. No bull.
You know what I'm
Cause
saying?
cause Robin is just like, whatever Luffy wants to do, I'm
Robin
here
down for the
for it.
ride.
Nami's having the aneurysm trying to like get all the Straw Hats not to be idiots. And like Zoro's like, whatever Luffy, hey, whatever.
Hmm
So I feel you,
Sanji gonna
man.
do whatever Nami and
Yeah,
Robin
yeah.
say.
Yeah, but Sanji's
Usopp
stupid too.
scared.
Like at the end of the day, Sanji's an idiot too. Cause
Yes.
like the big three of the Straw Hat crew, they're all
Not the
stupid.
brightest.
They're
Not the brightest.
literally stupid.
Not the brightest. You know
There's
what I'm saying?
that man. That yeah. No, we talked about if it was a draft, right? Jinbei is your he's the O line man.
Yeah.
He's the
He's the
solid O
center.
line. Yeah,
Hmm
he's the solid center that you draft. He's going to be around, 10 plus seasons. Solid choice. Not
Yes.
flashy, but very solid choice. Good. Jinbei's the pick in the draft where like you're like that's a good pick. That was a good pick.
It's a
You're
good
not
pick.
like
It's a good
super
pick.
hype, but you're like we need that. We needed a
Yeah, we
center.
need that, and you're gonna get your jersey retired when
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
done. In the your name is gonna be reflected somewhere up there because
yeah,
you were a solid line. Now we may not make it to the playoff in the 10 years that you're
yeah,
here,
yeah,
but we're not gonna worry about the left tackle.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
someone like that.
That's crazy, man. For a while Sanji was my favorite Straw Hat. I want to say, man, for a good while he's my favorite. Chopper was my favorite when he joined the crew. He became my favorite, and then Sanji became my favorite again. But I think Zoro, dog. Zoro's my favorite
Mm.
Straw Hat.
That makes sense because Zoro's been Zoro has been aura farming
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
past couple arcs at this point. So yeah, that makes sense.
Zoro's out running back. You're like, yes. Ooh, we going to the ship. We going
Th-
to.
Like, dare I say he's getting better as the
Oh
story
yeah.
continues?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now a
So
big
that's like a
complaint.
Marshall Falk. He's like Marshall Falk right now.
Yeah. A big complaint though, and I agree with the community. I miss Funny Zoro.
Yeah, he hasn't got
Pre time,
lost in a long
dog.
time.
Pre time skip Zoro was comedy, dude. Like
Hmm
it's comedy, and like I get it. He's got to be more serious and stuff now, and he has some comedic moments. But like pre time, pre time skip Zoro, like the Luffy trying to fight him in Whiskey
Whiskey
Peak.
Peak, yeah.
Him him getting stuck in the wall and Chopper's like, Zoro got stuck in a wall and he's like choking Chopper. The
Yes.
Sky Pierre is like, oh.
Yes. Dog, that was so random
It's like, what the
and
hell are you doing?
hilarious. Because was it straight up was the soundbite from
Yeah.
Tarzan? What is going
Oh.
on?
And the rest of the crew are like, what the hell is he doing? Like,
Like, yo, that would be something that like folks who do a dub making fun of an anime
Yeah,
would
yeah, yeah.
do. And the actual anime did it. Oh man, that was funny.
But yeah, back to the live action, man. We got to see what our boy Tony Chopper will look like in live action.
Yes.
What do you think, Nels?
He looks amazing.
He
I
looks
mean,
fantastic. He looks great.
I'm shocked that they went with CGI. Because now I'm wondering, like, how expensive is this show going to be?
I
Because
mean, I
Chopper looks great. And we've seen some places where CGI doesn't look strong. So
yeah,
if that is the thing that's going to be running around the crew for the next several years, I'm like, man, that's gonna be a little expensive. So I will say this is what has me worried. And I know some folks are talking about Chopper's design. I'm not even acknowledging. You can if you want to. Chopper looks great. The voice actor sounds amazing. She
well,
has
I
nailed Chopper's voice,
I
in
do
my
want to
opinion.
acknowledge that, but
I'm just gonna
continue.
breeze through all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will gladly talk about it. My actual concern is with going with CGI and not like
hmm
practical effects. I'm nervous on how much Chopper we're gonna get. That's
I feel
honestly
you.
my concern.
I think in a show with a lesser budget, that's a legitimate concern. They spend a lot of money on One Piece.
They're gonna
They
have
spend a
to.
they spend a lot of money on One Piece. Chopper looks great, and I think a practical Chopper would have looked great, but then you're limited on what he can do. You're limit like now he can do the rumble transformations like quickly, and who knows? We don't know. The rumble transformations might be a mix. Like his what is it? What's the big one? Muscle point break or whatever. There might be
Yeah,
a guy in a suit. We don't know yet. So
yeah.
I think this was just the most logical decision, because a puppet, you gotta, they're by water, it might be hard. So I get it. I get it. I think we have the budget to not be concerned about how much chopper we're gonna get,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know?
Hopeful thinking.
Yeah.
I'll keep that. I'll keep that in mind.
I get what you're saying, though. I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, let's talk about a little bit the criticism, because there was
Yeah.
some criticism. For overall, people are like, "Yo, our boy looks nice, voice sounds good, whatever."
Yeah.
Let me just say something, man. We
Mm.
we come from an era where we worked for our anime. We worked for our
Yes.
fandom, right?
Yes. Yes.
We had to go places to get bootlegs of tapes to watch whatever it was, and then we had to hide our fandom because it
Yes.
wasn't cool to like anime.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
The dark days of being an anime fan before Toonami, there was some dark days, bro.
Dog,
It was
it was
rough out here. So you had to be real discreet about your
writing our
anime
little
watching.
journals. Today we watch anime on Kindle. Like, I cannot tell anyone about the adventures I had with Trigun, but I hope one day. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
you'll be dropping the word piccolo just to see if someone knows, like, oh, that looks like a piccolo. And so, and
Kaioken.
so, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so it'll look at you like, you know
Uh,
about
uh.
piccolo? Ah!
And so I bring that up to say that like fans, I'm talking to the fans, y'all got it too good nowadays. Y'all got it too easy. You demand too much and you're spoiled.
Mm,
Chopper looks amazing, sounds amazing, and what do we hear? Oh, he doesn't look like he does in the anime. No one does. It's a live action show. What are you talking about? What? Yeah, no one looks like they do in the anime. Are you kidding me? And then look, I give him some of this. I'm a voice actor fan, Stan.
mhm.
I don't
Yes.
see why you could not have gotten the anime voice actress
Yeah.
to do. I really don't. I don't
Yeah.
know why. Maybe it's a union thing. Maybe like Funimation is like one it litter. I don't know. But yeah, I do agree with you with that. That doesn't make sense why you couldn't. They did it in Sonic. The lady who
Tails
voices
was
Tails
Tails. Yeah.
is
I
yeah.
don't.
So I don't get it. But to
Yeah.
complain about how Chopper looks, I'm like, yo, do you understand it has to look a certain way to fit into the world that they established with this live action show? I think this is the best Chopper could look in this world that was created. And he looks fine. And I'm just like, yo, fans got it too good. They just got it too breezy. They demand the world and they're spoiled. Because Nails, if this was us in our dark days of anime, we'd be like, oh my God, a live action anything.
A
Like
show?
a show about anime?
Good actors?
Legit actors in an anime live adaptation. Dog, we lost our minds when
Accurate
X-Men.
live action? Dog, an accurate live action live
Dog, let's
action show?
let's
What?
talk about accurate. Do you remember a little movie called the Super Mario Brothers?
Bruh, wow.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
accurate. Let's talk about the dark days of fandom. Oh, Super Mario movie. That's gonna be amazing.
Do you
What?
remember how excited you were that they were making a Super Mario movie?
Bruh, I was
How
so
excited you were, even though you looked at the trailer and the trailer shows you this is not what you want.
I'm like, well, where's the Mushroom Kingdom? Where are
Yeah.
the green pipes? Where I don't well, maybe it's in there later. Maybe
Where is his raccoon suit? Where's my raccoon suit? And you're just like, you know what? I'm still gonna watch it because maybe, just maybe, and no.
the
And the movie was so bad. I forgot what the actor guy was who played Koopa, but like he wasn't
oh
in that many movies after that.
yeah. Oh, but like that's what it was to be a fan. It was constant
Hmm.
disappointment. And you know
Yes.
what? You got back up, you dusted off your wounds, and you kept going.
Yep.
Fans today, oh, it's not exactly what I wanted. Oh, you didn't meet my fan fiction. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Shut up. You don't know how good you got it.
I can I tell you, Mark, this is honestly what I think it is. I don't think it's that many folks. I think there is a very, very small group, but they finally have a microphone,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
like the comment section, they
yeah.
like nobody would really, it's that snarky one person in the crew, and you know them, so you know whatever they say is going to be snarky, and you accept them because that's just who it is. But what if you didn't know him or her, and what if they now have a random picture that they can put up in a random account and they can say whatever they want and nobody can stop them. That's what's going on now. So I don't think it's that many people. I just think they are loud
It
and wrong, but more
I
so
I
loud.
I I agree with you and then also disagree with you because yeah, it I the chopper thing, it was more love than hate.
Yeah.
But I think fandom overall is just so toxic and just so spoiled nowadays.
Mm.
It's basically fans now. You didn't do the fan fiction in my head that I wanted. Dog, let's call it what we're seeing right now with the James Gunn Superman. Get over it. The Snyderverse, it's gone. It's gone. DC, look, DC did Zack Snyder dirty. It is what it is, y'all. It ain't coming back. It You got your Snyder cut, and that's it. Move on. Find a hobby. Find something
And
else to do.
I know this shouldn't be part of the argument, but it wasn't that good. The
It
Snyderverse
even
wasn't
wasn't
that
that
good.
great.
It wasn't that good. But the how hard y'all ride for it, we shouldn't be talking about this during the One Piece check-in. But like how hard y'all ride for Zack Snyder bothers me. It bothers me upon knowing,
You
like,
wouldn't ride for your own family like that.
dog,
This man doesn't know you.
if y'all felt like this for Zack Snyder, then what in the world? How are you feeling for what's our boy's name who made the Dark Knight trilogy? Christopher
Nolan,
Nolan. How did y'all feel for Christopher Nolan? If this is how you felt
a
for Zack
legit
Snyder,
good, a legit great series.
you like why aren't you stomping down the wall saying Christopher Nolan needs to make more Batman movies? Like, why are y'all fighting for Zack
you
Snyder?
you know what it is. You know what it is, and we can leave it here. I was talking to my brother about this. The problem with fandom nowadays is people make their taste their identity.
Mm.
And
Yes.
God help
Yes.
you if you attack my identity. And like,
Hey, I ain't helping. I ain't
but
helping though.
but dog, like I said, 20 years One Piece fan. My best friend. No, I hate One Piece. Don't talk to me about One Piece. Did I get mad? Did I?
No.
No, I still watched and love One Piece because it's not my freaking identity. It's not
Yes.
who I am as a person. I just like One Piece. Stop making your interests your identity. Stop making your fandom your identity. Go
Yes.
get a life.
Yes.
Go do
It's
something. Go touch
because
some
being a nerd
grass.
is cool. Like they have finally accepted us, and now they're trying to figure out how to do it.
Bring
And
back the
they,
bullies. Bring them back. We need them. Bring them back. Bring back the wedgies, the
oh my
swirlies.
God,
You know how they're like, there's not enough plumbers, there's not enough bullies. Bring back the bullies, dog.
that would be so funny for bullies to come back now in fashion, and us
Just
just
old
watching it go
fashioned,
all over again. Yeah,
just old
you
fashioned
after school better
meathead
give you a
bullies, dog.
noogie. Why?
Yeah.
Because you like Jimmy Neutron. I'm coming after you.
Just when you ever on the internet saying something slick about the Spider Verse, bully just shows up to your house. Yeah,
Hey,
what are you doing, punk?
yeah.
Like,
Coming after you. You told me you like Star Trek. I'm coming after you.
coming at
Gonna pull up your underwear, give you an atomic wedgie. Yeah, like yeah, that's
they like yeah,
you
you
get
should
real
fight for your
quiet once
fandom. You
bullies
should
are
fight.
around again.
You should bullies should be outside of like Marvel movies, just like in like
We know you're in there.
come on out.
Come on in.
It should be like at Comic-Con, it should be like Planet of the Apes and the bullies like coming in the horse. They are
Yes.
coming.
And the only safe space is the comic book shop. The only safe
Sanctuary!
space.
Sanctuary!
And they're like, all right, I'll get you next time. They don't dare. It's the only place they're outnumbered.
The only place they don't
Bullies will
come in.
get jumped.
It's like sinners. They have to be invited in.
Oh my goodness, man.
That's it. That's it. Let's get back to One Piece, man.
Anyways, so Chopper looks great. Hey, what are you
Fantastic.
excited? What
Yeah,
I
man.
guess like what you yeah, how are you feeling about the live action?
I'm super excited. Like the dog the cast. I had a list of like everyone, all the characters in season two,
Yeah.
Mr. Three, the Giants. I'm like, yo, they are not missing with this casting. Like they're not.
No. No, they're not.
It's
They're not.
perfect. It's perfect. I'm super excited. And like everyone who they cast, these people are legit actors. It's not like
Yes.
it's not like the Power Rangers actors where like we don't really know who they are until they become Power Rangers. Like all these people are well established actors in this silly little pirate show. And like I'm blown away by it, dude. I'm really excited for season two.
I think we're gonna get a lot more Alabasta than folks realize. Like,
Mm,
I think we're going to get the misadventures and with the Straw Hats on all these islands, but each island's gonna have a connection to Baroque Works, and I think they're also going to show how Baroque Works is meticulously taking over Alabasta. So by
mm,
the time season 3
yeah,
comes out, is straight up the Straw Hats taking over Alabasta.
yeah. We talked about this. Do you think season three is going to be so? I think it's too much. Do you think season three will be solely Alabaster?
I think it could be Alabasta with some elements of like some other stuff too, because I think that's what they're gonna do this season. Like
Mm,
it's like Whiskey Peak, it's Laboon, it's
yeah,
Little Garden,
we'll get
all
Little
that.
Garden, Whiskey, Drum Island.
Drum, yeah, yes, and I think while that's happening, they're gonna do the backstory of Alabasta.
Yeah,
And so next season, I think they're going to do Skypiea and then probably a little backstory of Jaya.
yeah.
And then next season, Jaya, Skypiea, little backstory of something else. So
If I have any concern about the live action, it's what are we gonna do when we get to like Galaxy Impact?
hey,
You know,
hopefully we live long enough to see it.
we
I
get
would
some
love to
real
see them figure out the answer to that question.
we get to like Kaido and things like that. Like
Oh, when we get to Brooke, just Brooke. I'm really nervous about Brooke. What are we gonna do with that?
well, I think it's established Brook is probably going to be CGI.
I
Now,
guess.
what do you think Frankie is going to be fully CGI or a mix of both?
I hope not. I want Frankie to be some some douchebag dressed up like a cyborg.
In a
I
speedo.
want that.
Super!
I really want that. Like, if we could get Alan Rickman to come, I know he's probably making good money at Reacher, and Reacher's probably going to continue on.
Yeah.
And Reacher's a
Damn, he'd
great
be a good
show.
Frankie. He'd
He'd
be a
be a
good.
great Frankie, bro. He'd be a great Frankie. And it's like like if you had to ask me if I get him for Frankie or no more Reacher,
hmm
I've had enough Reacher. Give me him as Frankie.
I'm I'm
So
I'm I'm gonna say this. I think so many people after forget the dude's name, homeboy who is doing Crocodile. Once he makes his debut, there's gonna be so much Crocodile cosplay. Like,
he's going to make Croc look so cool.
yeah,
He's gonna make Croc look cooler than I thought he was. And now after them casting him, I was like, I'll probably be sleeping on Crocodile.
yeah,
Crocodile's
yeah.
actually probably cooler than I thought. And I thought he was pretty cool.
He is,
He's
yeah.
probably cooler than I thought he
Nels,
is.
you said before you moved on, you're like Alabaster's the greatest story in anime history.
I said it was in the top five
Yeah.
greatest anime arcs ever. And I said Croc was in top five best anime villains. I was just like, this is
And the
amazing.
fandom hated you for it. It's like, shut up, shut up.
I I just felt like they were like, just stop. Like you just
Stop. Get
you
help.
don't know what you're signing up for, young boy. Like just
Wow, crocodile is amazing.
yes.
Wow, Alabaster is so cool. They're just like,
Like, but I like that's like imagine somebody coming up to you and it's like, man, I don't know. Skypiea is the best thing I've ever seen. And it's like you hear somebody say that now, and you're like,
I lived that.
you have no
I
idea why
I
you
lived it
think
with
Skypiea
you.
is the best thing.
I
Yes, you
lived it with
did.
you, and I just sat
So
back. I bit my tongue. I was like, okay.
I can't I can't imagine the ignorance that you heard me
The pure
spew.
ignorance.
The
I was like,
pure ignorance.
that meme of Principal Skinner's pathetic.
Yes. And I think all you said was like, wait till you get to water seven. Like, oh my goodness. Man.
Man,
Anyways, so yeah, live action, we're excited. Ready to move on to the anime.
let's do it.
Well, the anime's back and Kuma backstory.
Full force, dog. Full force.
Kuma
Can I?
backstory.
Can
Yes.
before we even get into the Kuma backstory, I want to see what you think about this. The way the anime is moving, dog. I think we're gonna get an animated Elbaf by next year sometime. We'll be
Yeah.
animated in Elbaf, and I'm like, that's wild. We talked about this. I think it's Oda's master plan that when the manga ends, the anime will be ending maybe a year later, and then the live action will be very close to like picking up steam, but then also One Piece is going to be making its like really debut. I think One Piece by the time One Piece ends as a manga, the One Piece might be into season 2 or 3,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, man,
So
the just
let's talk the timelines real quick. So what I think might happen is the One Piece is like we find out the One Piece ends, story ends. A year later, the anime ends. A year and a
yeah,
half later, because
yeah, to 2 years tops. Yeah.
they gotta get some more money out of
Yeah, they gotta
that. Gotta get a little bit more money out of that.
get them
So
ducats, dog.
yeah, so like 2 years or so after
Yeah,
that ends. Probably around that same time, they would have either entered the new world or
in
they
the
would
live
have
action.
in the live action.
Yeah,
In the live action, they would have either entered the new world or filming Marineford or something like
Oh
it's going
yeah,
to be an epic
yeah,
thing
yeah.
there.
I think worst case scenario when One Piece as a thing ends, we're in Water 7 in the live action.
Yes, it's like a big arc coming up
Yeah,
next. And then the One Piece, the new anime, like it's it's gotta be Alabasta.
yeah. Which
So
I'm really excited to see because anime nowadays is so streamlined. I'm really excited to see a streamlined, newly animated One Piece. I'm really excited to see what the One Piece looks like and feels like.
yeah, like how are they gonna do it? Because like it's still dense. Like One Piece, like yeah, a lot of the story is tight, but it's a dense story.
Yeah.
So like it's still gonna be long,
Yeah.
but
Oh, yeah, even did you see the breakdown where they said I'm trying to think what's the first season of One Piece like all in Park and stuff from
mhm,
that will be like 30 episodes. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And like Alabaster would be like 25 to 30 episodes. So like that's still a lot.
that's still a
That's
lot.
still a lot of story, but it's definitely going to be cutting the fat.
That's,
So
I mean, those are seasons. Those are like seasons of
season.
regular American TV shows. You know what I'm saying? Like 22,
That's a
that's
season of
that's
Law
that's
and
a
Order,
season.
dog.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? And we're looking at that like, oh, this is gonna be a breeze. It's like,
Yo, no, no bull. We're like 30 episodes.
light work.
Like,
Do that in my sleep.
oh man.
My goodness. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, but
Oh,
dog,
that
go
can
ahead.
as we get to Kuma's backstory, I think one last thing about the anime is like, man, this is probably going to be the last anime ever that has this, that like we have this many
Oh,
episodes.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
we're probably
and
never going to have an
that's
anime we're watching that's like 800 episodes,
and
600 episodes,
when people
you know?
critique One Piece for its length, I'm like, y'all understand it's a different time. This show started back when your job was to make a lot of episodes because then you can sell your you get the syndication and sell those episodes to other networks for a lot of money. It's a different world. It's like everything is Netflix, 12 episodes, whatever. Like go. You get a new season the day you come out. And it's like because it's so good and successful, they've let Oda continue to make it this way. They're like, dog, it ain't broke. Don't fix it. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. So, it's where you're right. This is the last, not great anime, but this is the last, like you said, story, multiple episode Naruto kind of thing that we're going to see. My battery is about to die. I need to plug in my computer. Do you want
I'm
to
going to
pause or?
pause. Yep, I'm
Okay,
going to
all right.
pause.
So yeah, man, with all that said, Kuma's backstory, we finally
Mm.
got that animated. We read it, we talked about it when we read it.
Yes.
It hit a chord for the world when it was printed, when we read it. It is hit taking the internet by storm as an animated thing. Like what do you have to say about this now? So about Kuma's backstory.
It is so sad. It is so sad. It was sad to read it. It
Yeah.
was worse to watch it. It was sad. I was just like, when this man, dog, I ain't seen anime do this in a long time. When this man was sitting there and seeing his dad do the dance, and he was just smiling, like, yeah, daddy, go, daddy, yeah. The blood.
Boom.
The blood just splatters on his face.
Just
I was like, oh my
welcome to
God.
One Piece.
And, and I knew that was gonna happen. I was like, oh no.
Yo, just and he's like still smiling. He's like, just welcome to One Piece. Like,
And the sad thing that was going on in my mind is like, it's gonna get worse. I know what happens right after this. It's gonna get worse. and then it's gonna get worse, and then it's gonna
Um,
get worse. It's like, bro, man.
I went back and I read like Kuma's backstory too after seeing like it animated. It's so sad.
Yeah, bro.
You know what part really like got me as like a parent when him and what's Bonnie's mom's name?
Genie, yeah.
Jeannie, when they're eating and Jeannie's like I've never been full before. And then she starts crying and like I was like, "Oh my God, dog." Like she's like, I'm full.
I'm
I
full. I've never felt this before. I didn't know what this felt like.
oh, that got me, man. That got me. I was like,
And they were
"God,
sobbing. I don't
dude."
think she says that in the anime either.
I don't
She's she said it in the book, but I'm like, man,
yeah.
people don't even realize she's just like, I'm full. And they like keep it at that. I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, the line that hit was her saying, I never knew what this felt like, bro.
Oh man. Yeah. It no, and I love how when it's the flashback and Kuma's doing the Nika dance and it's like this
Hmm.
kind of like sketch silhouette. Like that's one thing I love about One Piece. They're like really taking what's the word I'm looking for? Their liberties with their animation and just
Hmm.
like yeah, it was just such a nice. It's like they're kind of like sketched outlines and he's doing oh you know man. So
I You know what I'm gonna ask. This
what?
is what I'm gonna ask. I mean, the Kuma backstory isn't done yet, but they are kind of speeding through it a bit.
Yeah.
But when it's all said and done, this was discussed when we actually read it, but now that we're seeing it in live action, is this the best backstory? Is this the
So
saddest backstory?
I was thinking about that today. I was literally
Mm,
thinking about this. I don't think you can judge a character's backstory in One Piece and just be like, this is objectively the saddest thing. Because
mm.
it has to be who they are and where they came from. Brooks' backstory, I could not handle. Like me as a person and what like my sensibilities are, I could not handle Brooks' backstory. Like just seeing everyone die and being alone for like what, 70 years? I don't
50
know what,
years.
50 years? No. Just a big no for me. But then like Chopper to like your dad died because of you and he doesn't even care. He still loved
Your
you.
dreams. Sorry.
Chopper, a man's dream. Ah! Cherry blossoms. No, all of Drum Island. We just did all of Drum Island. Your dream, cherry blossoms.
Literally gonna be one episode, maybe half of one episode, and that's all we're waiting for.
Oh, I mean, Nami's backstory is tragic. So I
Yeah.
really, I don't think you can objectively say this person's backstory is the most tragic. If you had to, it probably is Kuma's.
Yeah, bro.
If
It
you
gets
had to just pick one,
it's bad. It's
it's.
just it's bad all it's like the whole life.
But I'll say this: he had like it's sad, but you know what? He had friends and family the whole way through. The whole way through. Even when Kuma forgot who he was, he had people there who loved him and cared about him.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. 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 That what a silver lining, brother. I
yeah,
didn't see that. You know why? Because there was
it's so
slavery,
sad. It was
there
so
was
sad.
parents being killed, there
Slavery,
was torture,
blood
personal
across the face.
self-inflicted torture. There was war. There was a Forrest Gump adoption. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
Forrest Gump. Wait a minute. You don't think that's Forrest's son? You don't think you don't think
Not
Little Forrest?
Forrest's son.
You
It's
don't think
not
Little
Forrest's
Forrest
son. No, it's
they
not
sit the
Forrest's
same?
son.
You don't think Little
Jenny
Forrest?
and Forrest had fun one time, and Jenny was for the streets for at least 10 years of her life. And I'm not saying this because I hate Jenny, because I do, but I'm not saying this because I hate Jenny. But that's what the movie told you. she went and joined the Beatniks. And then the next time Forrest sees her, she's naked on stage playing the guitar. She was for the
True,
streets.
true,
And all of a
but
sudden, oh yes, the one time you hook up with Forrest, who ain't never had it before, the
ain't that
one
how it
time you
is?
had it,
Ain't that how life is? Like,
like Forrest's life? No, that's not how Forrest's life is. Forrest's life has been success, 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 success. You know what I'm saying? And maybe success in Forrest's mind is the first time I do it, baby,
yeah, yeah.
maybe. But that wasn't the case for the several other men that she was
You know,
hooking up with.
we need Maury. We need Maury. In the case
That's
of
not
Little
Forrest's.
Forrest,
It's not Forrest's kid. Like I was saying, a
Forrest, you
Forrest
are
Gump
not the
adoption,
father.
a Forrest Gump adoption, and then he becomes a machine, and none of it is his fault
To save his daughter's life.
to save his
His
daughter's
adopted.
life,
Let me ask you something.
and none of it is his fault. He
Do
did
you
nothing wrong.
do you think does it matter? And do you think we'll find out who Bonnie's biological father is?
No, I don't think it matters, and I don't think we'll find out. I think we might get a strong clue here and there, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like
Okay.
just like we got a strong clue that Frankie's dad is a queen, or not
Yeah.
queen. Was it queen? Yeah, queen,
No.
right?
Wait, is it implied? Wait, yeah,
Yeah.
hold up. Walk me back through this. Where is it implied that his dad is Queen?
I think they're both from the same sea, the same blue, and Frankie knows his parents are, or yeah, his parents are pirates, and they
Okay.
dropped him off at like Water Seven or somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
And Queen
Yeah.
says he had a family, but he like abandoned his kids so he can like fully be a pirate. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Okay.
kind of,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
both are into tech. It kind of is just like, oh yeah, this is
No,
clearly
you're right. You're right.
his kid.
But going back, this hasn't been animated yet, but going back to Kuma's backstory, dog, there's a lot of lore drops in Kuma's back. God
Mm,
Valley,
God Valley.
the God Valley incident is Kuma's backstory, and then just going back, I was like, yo, Ivank could have been Kaido. Like Ivank could have had Kaido's devil fruit.
That would be
Um,
an ugly looking dragon.
yeah. God, I just see Kaido's dragon with with lipstick and like eyeliner, like
Oh,
just got like a sash and just
that's nah.
but like yeah, you get God Valley, you hear about the Rocks pirates. And I was like, man, there's a lot of like this is what One Piece is so good
You
at.
see Garp in his prime.
Garp in his prime.
Hmm.
This is what One Piece is great at because we're getting Kuma's story, but we're getting so much lore in the other part of it. Like Big Mom, and she took the devil fruit from Ivank, and I don't know why, but she held on to it and gave it to Kaido.
Yeah.
I feel like something else big happened.
I mean, we're eventually going to see the forming of the Revolutionary Army.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
That's I don't think they animated that part yet, but like we're going to
No,
see him and Dragon
him
like
and
become
Dragon,
friends.
and then it wasn't there something mentioned where like every time they were near, I want to say correct me, they were near Marie Joie or somewhere, Dragon would like kind of disappear.
No, it was like he caught Dragon looking east, and he's like, "Why are you looking at the east?" And then he like went to East Blue and went to Luffy and saw Luffy,
He saw Luffy
and
training.
then he like went and he was like, "Dude, I need to talk to you about your son." And Dragon was like, "Yo, if you want to kill me, just kill me, because like
Yeah,
the man's weakness is his child, so like just
yeah,
kill me now."
yeah, yeah.
So.
And do you think this is me deep diving? Do you think it matters that when Kuma went back and saw Luffy training with Ace, Luffy was doing the battle axe, the move he did on Arlong? Does that matter? Because
Nah.
I like to think Oda doesn't do anything just randomly. Like,
If anything, it answers your question on like where did Luffy have that move because he didn't use it up until
yeah,
then. So
yeah,
like it was like his secret weapon.
yeah, yeah.
I guess that's what it could have told you. But I don't think it's like this is the move that
This is
he'll
the
use to
against
stop Emu.
I'll
It
be
was
happy with it.
flashbacks all along.
I'll be happy with it.
I don't think it's
Um,
gonna be that. Yeah.
but yeah, like man, no, the Kuma backstory might be the objectively saddest one. Even though I don't think you can just like be objective with those, but it might be as a father, it really hits his love for Jenny. I mean, for Jenny and Bonnie, but then just like with Bonnie and Bonnie thinks if what was it? Bonnie thought if she just made it to 10 years old, she'd be cured. So Kuma just like let her think that, and and so then he gives his body to the government to save her. I wanted to ask you something. When he fights Akainu, right? And then I forget how Akainu like burns half his face, and he's like, "Interesting, you still have blood running through your body." Kuma escapes, and Akainu was like, "Where does a man go who has no will?" Or because he thinks Kuma is just a straight up cyborg at that point. I asked you, okay, we've seen all two of the admirals have kind of like a change of heart, right? One left and he's working for Blackbeard, but I think he's secretly a sword operative.
Agreed.
Yeah,
He is the what are they called? Admirals. He's the Admiral of Sword.
yeah. He's secretly deep cover sword. What is Lightning Dude like?
The
Kirizu,
the light guy, Kizaru.
Kizaru. You can tell even he's doing his job, he has reservations about what's going on. Egghead, Kuma, and Vegapunk. Is Akainu, does he have any saving grace or is he gone? Is he purely justice? Does he know about Emu? Does he care? Like, where do you sit on Akainu?
I think the story is telling us that he will have a change of heart,
Hmm.
but I don't want it. I don't want it. I want him to stay evil. This man punched a hole in Ace, bruh. He
I
punched a hole,
think,
Mark. He punched a hole in Ace, and he almost killed Kobe. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I think,
No redemption from me, bruh. None. I hope he stays evil.
I think Akainu would sacrifice himself to save Luffy from Blackbeard.
Like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it,
I don't
and I
like
don't
it.
want it.
No, no, no. I hope he dies for a bad reason.
Just dies alone like
Yes. That's what I want. That's
90
what I
year old
want.
Kainu. I had a terrible life.
Yeah,
You're
that's
like
what I want. Yes. Cinema.
cinema art.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then no, it's just like a one off, and like Oda's like, oh yeah, a Kainu died from like he got gonorrhea and got sick and died.
Yes.
You're like,
Yes.
yes.
Beautiful. That's the energy I got for him, man. All right, we ready to move on to the manga?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Mark, Elbaf is an interesting. It's been an interesting arc. We started off with Legos,
Yeah,
and now Emu is fighting.
dude,
I could not predict from Legos to Emu turning folks into demons. That was
dude.
not the track I thought we were going on.
I will say this. I think Oda's slightly tweaking his writing because Elbaf feels fast. Like when you look back, it's been a lot of chapters. We've been in
Mhm.
Elbaf for a long time. A long time relative to any
Relatively
other
speaking, yes.
relative to any other manga for One Piece. It's been like we've been in Elbaf for like 30 minutes. But
Hmm. Yes.
I do think Oda's like ramping up his writing. And so I don't know if the story is wrapping up quickly or Oda is just like he's really in his he's locked in and he's just really here's the facts, nothing but the facts. You know what I mean? Um
It does seem like he's very locked in. Yeah.
yeah, it's like cuz everything that happens in Elbaf like there I don't think there's been any like I don't want to use this word but like wasted chapters in Elbaf.
Yeah.
Every chapter we've gotten some bit of information that tells like the grand story.
Yeah.
but no, yeah, dude, Elbaf is wild, dog. We're doing some fun stuff, some interesting stuff. And you know what's so funny? Going like reading Elbaf and then going back, like Shanks saving Luffy makes perfect sense now.
Hmm.
You know, after seeing what Emo can do and how Emo uses his or hers, whatever Emo is, the elders, the dragons, Shanks probably saw opportunity to get rid of his arm because he knew he had to, and also put faith in. It's just it.
He
Oda's a genius,
he
dog.
was like, man, this kid ate our saving grace. I have to make sure this kid
Is the one.
is the one.
Yeah,
So like, yeah, my arm is worth the sacrifice. Like maybe that'll do it. Like,
yeah.
but this kid has to become the greatest pirate ever. So much pressure. And
I
that
mean,
means I have to be such a mentor. Maybe Shanks wanted to be chill this whole time. And when he was delivering, I don't know who he was playing. Maybe he was probably just planning for it to be Ace. Let's be honest. He probably was just going to deliver that to Ace and be
yeah.
like, my
You
job is done.
said,
That's all I wanted to do.
bro. You said in any other anime, Ace would have been the MC.
Yeah. Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
it makes complete sense. And so like he probably was like, yeah, I'm go and once Luffy ate the devil fruit, he was like, well, the rest of my life, I have to make sure that this guy sees me as his North Star.
Yeah,
So that means I have to, because I need him to be the greatest pirate, I have to be the greatest pirate ever. So he
yeah,
can be like, I need to be better than you.
yeah.
Like,
Cause,
man, the pressure.
cause like Shanks probably knew it's been established that Zoan and devil fruits have a will of their own.
Yes.
This devil fruit evaded the world government for 800 years. And then just this little, like, scrawny, stupid kid eats it randomly. Like, Shanks was pissed at first, but he probably sat back. He's like, no, like, it was the will of the fruit. Like, you don't evade Emu and the elders and the celestial dragons for 800 years and then just like, oh wow, a fruit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like Shanks knew something was up there, and I think you're right. He took the opportunity to like, well, this is it. Then I'm all in because he said when he went to go visit Gabon, he wished he could have been like a carefree pirate like Buggy, his boy
Yeah.
Buggy. Even though Buggy hates his guts, he just
He
like
love that
my
man.
boy Gubby, my boy Buggy, dog.
It's like, yeah, I thought me and Buggy were just gonna be kicking it for the whole
He's
our
like,
whole
hey,
life.
he's like, as soon as this One Piece thing is over, me and old Buggy are and Buggy,
Buggy
I
hates
hate
your
you,
guts.
I hate you.
Buggy hates your guts, bruh.
Dog, Shanks
Can't
is
stand you. I hate
in,
you. You stink.
in Shanks' mind. Him and Buggy's gonna be the end of like Sean Shank, where like he's like
Yes.
making the
And Buggy's
boat.
just waving at him.
Morgan Freeman, Sage, like, hey, Buggy.
We can finally start our adventure. I just had to get that out the way.
Meanwhile, Buggy is like emperor of the sea, and he's just like this. Oh, this motherfucker Shanks.
I hate him.
Ah,
Oh my goodness, man.
I
So,
can I ask you something real quick? I'm
yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
because we're on Shanks. So with what we're seeing with Shanks, his brother, Celestial Dragon, dog, like Shanks not going to Marineford. We clearly seen he could have made slight work of Marineford, right?
yeah.
But he chose to stay out of it. Is that a sign of his observation hockey? Is his observation hockey that great that he was like, I can't interfere? Something about Marineford had to go down that Shanks was like, I can't interfere. But then afterwards, he was like, no, now I have to step in and war over. Still, I don't think people understand. It still blows my mind. Marineford was like the greatest battle the world has seen in a long time. Shanks showed up and was like, everyone go home. And they were
I
like,
think, yeah, I think Shanks showed up because Ace died. I think Ace died. He knew. Luffy was he's mentally not going to be in good shape, and Luffy was going to die. And
Hmm.
he's like, I can't have him die. I need, like, all y'all, I could really care less about all
Yeah,
y'all. But that one right there, he's making it home. So the war's over. Y'all go home.
yeah,
What do you need, Marines? You won. They both dead. The execution
yeah,
happened. Good job.
yeah.
Go
You got
home.
what you wanted. You killed.
Private, y'all ain't got no one left.
This
Y'all
was a
go home.
good.
Take my
Shanks was
guy with
like,
you.
this was a good day for y'all. You killed Whitebeard and you killed Gold Roger's son.
Good job.
Y'all are in the green. Like,
You good. You can ride that wave for at least 5 years. You know what I'm saying? That's a good job. You did a good job. And all your admirals are still alive. That's
yeah.
a win. It's a win. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even need Garp. You didn't need Garp.
You
And
didn't
that
even
man
need
has a
Garp.
galaxy impact in his arm. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't even need him. Bruh, you're in the green. You're in the
Dog,
green.
I will say after watching Galaxy Impact, Sengoku did the right thing. Like
Yes.
he did
Yes.
he
Yes.
he did everyone at Marine Forward should be thanking Sengoku. He did them all a favor. Cause like Garp left to his own devices after seeing Ace died. It w
If Ace would not have died. All right. And if Ace did die, so would that guy, that admiral. That
Yeah,
admiral would be dead. One galaxy impact.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Man, anyways. Yeah, I think Shanks was like, he can't die, and he's in a bad shape right now, so I got
Yeah.
to come through. That's all. He was
And
probably there the whole time, just observing it.
yeah. And then back to Elbaf. We're fast forwarding, but like Shanks and it's a flashback, but Shanks at Elbaf talking to Gabon, talking to King Harold at Marie Joie, and I need to talk to him again because we couldn't speak freely. Like, what do you make of that?
So one, Shanks was on Marie Joie probably for a while.
Yeah.
Like
So
he probably lived there for a few years.
do you think that's what Roger told him? You're
Yes,
celestial, and so he went back to
yes.
try to live that life.
I
Okay.
think that's what he told him. I think he told him, "You're a celestial dragon, and your dad's still alive,
Mm, mm,
and you have a twin brother." He told him all that, and he's like, and Go Rogers probably told him, "I want you to go back to your family," and that's what messed him up.
yeah.
'Cause he's like, "You're my family."
You're my daddy.
Yeah, he's like, "I want you." He's like, "I want you to go back to your family," and he was probably there, dog, for a few years, and was
Yeah.
just like, I can't do it no more. Like I
Mm,
see what's going on here and I ain't with it. I'm
yeah.
gonna go be a pirate. And probably
Yeah.
saved his members of his crew.
Hmm.
And that's how the red hair pirates started, I'm assuming.
So, I mean, I don't even know where to start in Elbaf, dog. Like,
Dog, there's really only one thing we should talk about. I mean, like,
okay,
this is it. Is Loki joining
one
the crew? Yes.
is
Is
okay.
Loki joining the crew?
Yes, yeah. Luffy. So, okay. Well, let's go back and we'll get to where we are. So, the dragons, celestial dragons, come to Elbaf. They demand, you know, there's
The
subordinates,
God Knights specifically.
godly knight. Yeah, they demand Elbaf's loyalty. They tell them to burn the library, or we're going to take the children. Oh, the dog, the little girl giant who when they took them hostage, and she was like, she told the
Nah,
king like,
bruh.
don't worry about it. Like,
Nah, bruh.
dog, I was like, she was like, no, not for me. Like, I was like,
For me.
yo,
Keep the school, keep the
the
library.
school.
If it's my life with that, I'm not worth it. What was the giant elder supposed to do? You see this little girl, like, tell me,
Dog,
it's okay.
it's okay. I'll die for
The
the knowledge.
library. I was like,
Just like-
no, you little girl, burn it all. Burn it. Burn it all.
So they kidnap children. They kidnap Gabon's son,
Yeah.
and then like these, I still don't fully understand. Can you explain like these kind of monsters that have
Yeah,
appeared?
they're essentially like nightmares. So like
Okay.
the whoever the seafood like devil fruit looking guy, whatever his devil fruit is, he has the power to make someone's dreams like come
Yeah.
true in nightmare form, but they're not like forever. They're kind of like I really think they're really similar to what's her name? Big Mom's Devil Fruit.
Mm.
Like like
Okay.
instead of a spirit, it's a dream. And so like at some point they'll just go away, but he can
Yeah.
just do it over again. So
Yeah.
I think they just have to get that guy off the board and
Yeah.
all those things go away.
So they kidnap these children, and everyone's going into action. Straw Hats are coming together. Luffy and Zoro and I think Sanji are still down at the bottom level
Hmm.
with Loki figuring all that out. And then who is it? Saturn? Is it not Saturn? Who? Jupiter?
Why are you asking? What's the
Because who does Gaban fight with and cut off his arm?
Oh yeah, the one of the holy knights. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the knights cuts off his arm, and they're like, "Whoa, he actually hurt him." And it's hinted that it's like a different form of hockey. Why he hurt him?
Well, no, they couldn't really explain it. We later find out that like right before this like most recent chapter, chapter 1152 ends, we get a hint that it's Conqueror's hockey.
Okay.
Because Gabon's like, Luffy, be careful with how you use your Conqueror's hockey against them. And then he asks, like, he's like, Zoro has Conqueror's hockey.
Yeah.
Like, he can help too. And
I
Zoro's like, bro,
I got
I
Conqueror's
got Conqueror's
hockey,
hockey?
and Luffy's like the one time Luffy's like smart. He's like, "Dog, it's like oozing from you. It's like it's like
Like,
constantly
you've
coming
been
off
reeking
you."
of Conqueror's hockey, bro. You think
It's
I
like,
just ain't been seeing since you came back from Mihawk? How
yeah.
nasty you been, bro? You think you've been breezing the game, bro?
You think you think you beat King and Lucci without Conqueror's hockey?
Come on, bro.
And then I love when Sanji was like, "Oh, it's me, right?" Is
And even after Zoro gets, he's like, your boy ain't got Conqueror's hockey? What's up? What? You know Sanji's gonna get Conqueror's hockey, right?
yeah. I would like to see it. I
It's
think
gonna no, bro. It's gonna happen.
yeah.
It might happen this arc with all that energy Oda's doing.
As one of the
Sanji's
wings
getting it.
to the future King of the Pirates, I think he has to have Conqueror's hockey. But yeah, and so all these things are happening, and then the one holy night is it Gook?
Bro, I don't know any of their names, bro. Like I
Okay,
just,
the woman, right? The woman who has
yeah,
these like vector. It almost looks like Emu's power, right?
very,
They're like
yeah.
kind of like vector. One, I don't even know what it is. She has a thing, a hatred thing for Brooke.
What? Yeah, so I've listened to a bunch of One Piece influencers, One Piece creators to tell me more about that chapter. And I think there's a popular idea. I forgot which one of them shared this. It might have been Randy Troy, was around the thought that she she lived in like some type of kingdom that got taken over by the world government. She yells daddy, who could have been like a king or whatever. And Brook, if you remember, Brook was an envoy before
Hmm.
he became a pirate. So like
Yeah.
he was like security for a royalty. And so he probably sang and probably protected that little girl. And so when her memories are flashing back, she was like, "Are you Brooke?" Which is why she didn't say dad, because that's not like her kid. So
Yeah.
I think he actually was like a good person in her life.
Well, because
And
we see a
yeah.
flashback where she's holding, I assume it's her as a child, holding the hand of a man in a silhouette with a big afro, and he, yo
Hmm.
ho 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 ho. And when I text you when I read it, I was like, is this Brooke? Like, and that's all we get of it. Like the nothing else. So it's like,
But Brooke
wh-
also says the resemblance is uncanny.
yes, yeah.
So I actually don't think she's a young woman. I think she's really old under all
Mm.
those bandages. Like I think she's an old lady.
Well, what? Because she looks young, but is that due to Emu's influence on
I think
like?
when those bandages are removed, like she's gonna, well, 57 is not old. She's gonna look like a 57-year-old.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But so she's causing havoc. All this stuff is happening. Emu takes over her body
Hmm.
and comes to Elbath, and also takes over the two giants.
Yes. Yes.
What is going on, Nels?
I don't know, sir. I think I don't know how the Straw Hats are making it out of this one. All right. I mean, actually, I think I do. And the answer is I think we need to talk about Loki. Cause
Okay.
because
So
this
I want to do all this because like before we talk about Loki,
context, yeah,
all
I
this
hear you.
crazy stuff is happening while the Straw Hats are on the upper part of Elbath, and at the lower part of Elbath, Cop Gaban gets hit down. Chopper is like, this man, whatever he did, he hurt one of these holy knights. We need him. Without thinking about it, he just jumps down after him. He's like,
Hmm.
"Oh God, I didn't think this through.
This is a very long jump. Help! Help me!
Help me,
All that.
please." But yeah, so and then we're at the bottom where Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy are talking to Loki. Yeah,
Okay. Is is Loki going to join the crew? Cause like I think the rationale that Luffy gave is like, dude, if you tripping that hard that this man can't save his hometown, then I'm just gonna make him a member of my crew. Which like of all the reasons that Luffy gives for someone to join the crew, it's pretty on par for the folks who actually join the crew.
I
You
mean,
know?
but I want to say this: like, how many people, how many misses are there? Because he asked Yamato, and Yamato was like, "No, I
Yeah.
want to do what Odin did." And I feel like he asked Jinbei. Jinbei did eventually get there, but Jinbei was like, "Yo, I got business to handle." Was there someone before Jinbei that
Oh,
he
bro,
asked?
Luffy's asked a lot of people to
He
join
asked
the
that
crew.
tree, that random tree, I think, and didn't he ask a ghost or a tree in the Thriller Bark to join the crew? And they were like,
Yes.
"No, no monsters!" Like,
He asked the guy who's in the treasure box in like back in the day with the
yeah.
afro. He asked him to join his crew. Luffy's like, "Are you weird? Are you interesting to look at? I want you on my crew."
Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Do you want to join my crew? Are you free
So,
on Friday? Do you want to join my crew?
so a lot of those are just like Luffy just being Luffy.
Yeah,
But this one's kind of like, nah, man, like we gotta go save the day. This guy looks like he can fight.
yeah,
What do
yeah.
I need to do to get him to fight and y'all can stop acting up? And so I think the reasoning is on par with folks that have joined the crew. I think he's gonna join the crew, bro.
I, I think so. One, logistically, they gotta find a way to make him fit on the Sunny. So I don't know how. I'm not saying it won't happen, but like I don't know how that's
The
gonna happen.
owl, the owl,
Okay, yeah,
the owl's
with the
gonna
books.
travel with them, and he's gonna make Loki tiny size.
Okay, there you go. That's a good point. I
I
also
bet you money
think,
he's gonna be like a little doll looking, like small like Chopper when he's on the boat.
I also think that however we leave Elbath, it's not going to be in good shape, and Loki, it's going to be established that he's not the monster people think he is,
Yes.
and he's going to be like, "Look, I can't join the crew right now, but when the final battle comes, I'll be there, but I need to get the giants organized and together." And I'll meet you. You know what I mean? Like he'll be. I definitely see Loki being part of the Grand Fleet without a doubt. Joining the crew, I don't think. I think he's gonna be busy.
Yeah, that's probably the right answer.
You know what I
That's
mean?
probably the right answer. The fact that like you don't see any other One Piece in that final battle like thing, but you do see Loki there. So Loki probably represents like
Yeah.
not a member of the crew, but like a faction in itself.
Now let me ask you this though: where do we go? Where are we going after Elbaf? It's Laugh Tale, right?
I think we're gonna go to Lone Star. the last island on the well, yeah, on the Grand Line.
Okay, because
And then we're gonna go to Lone Star. Or excuse me,
Left Tail.
Laugh Tale. Yeah.
Because I heard a theory. Do you think the final battle will be at Laugh Tale?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. I
I
do.
heard a theory that I think it's like every sea that Luffy's in, he gets 3 to 4 crew members from each sea or something like that. I think if you do the math, it's like 3 or 4 people of whatever sea, like the East Blue. What
Let's
was it?
let's let's do it. Let's do it real quick. All
Let's do the
right.
math.
So East Blue, he gets Nami,
Zoro, Nami,
Zoro, Sanji,
Sanji, Usopp.
Usopp.
That's 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
So now we're doing Paradise Grand Line,
yeah.
right? So he gets Chopper, he gets Robin, he gets
Frankie,
Frankie, he gets
Brooke.
Brooke.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
another 4.
So now we're in New World, Fishman Island. He asked Jinbei at Marineford, but
Yeah,
no, he asked him in the Marineford saga, but he's on Amazon Lily, whatever.
yeah.
No, no, no. I'm tripping. He asked him at the end of Fishman Island when he's getting the blood and he's saying, "Join my crew." So, Jinbei.
Yeah, that's right now. That's 1.
He says at the beginning of the show that he wants to have 10 crew members. So we're only going to get one more.
So have you heard the theory that each the crew are supposed to represent the Chinese zodiac, and I think there's 13 Chinese zodiacs. So when who's the cat guy? There's little in some of the like cover art. There's one where like each straw hat is drawn to represent a Chinese zodiac, and there's some missing, obviously. And then what is it Cat Viper from Wano?
I don't know. I don't
You know
know.
what I'm talking about though, right? The he was one of Odin's scarabs.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a cover art where he's with a bunch of cats, and it's implied that like each cat represents a member of the crew, but there's 13 cats,
Mm,
right? And so there's a bunch of little hints that like the crew is going to be 13 people. So, but
yeah, I don't know about that.
he's asked Yamato. Yamato didn't say no out fully, but Yamato wants to do the Odin run. He asked Loki, so that would leave 2 more from this region of the world.
No. I don't think so, man. I think it's easy to do the Zodiac when you have Carrot and Yamato and there is a rabbit and a dog. Like I think it's easy to think that and to see that, but they are not on the crew.
You
You
said
know what I'm
dog,
saying?
right? You said
Yeah.
dog, right? I've heard I've heard theories that Loki's devil fruit is the Norwegian that big wolf that was in Thor Ragnarok. The whatever that wolf's name, that's his devil fruit. So that would be your
Who's?
dog, Loki. That would be your dog if his devil fruit is that wolf.
Yeah, but why would that make him the sun god? I we'll see. I like that one too much to disagree with it. I like it a lot. I
Like I
think that
said,
might be it.
I mean, will he join? To answer your question, I think he's joining the Grand Fleet, flat out joining the crew. I think there's so much that's going to be done, and be like, yo, I'll meet you in Laugh Tale. You know what I mean? For him to just straight up
Hmm.
join the crew right now.
We only left with rabbit, dog, dragon, dog. Okay, so I'm reading through it. Here are the 13. Luffy is monkey.
Yeah.
Zoro is the tiger. Nami is cat.
Hmm.
Usopp, they're saying snake. Sanji is goat. Chopper, they're saying rat. I don't know how I feel about that. Robin, they said rooster. Frankie, they said bull. Brooke, they said horse. I get that one. And Jinbei, they gave boar.
Okay.
I don't see that one as well. So then there's three more. There is rabbit, dragon, dog. Carrot is clearly the rabbit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dragon, you could argue that Momonosuke is the dragon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 No, oh, dog, yeah. That's a good pull, definitely.
And then dog, some would say Yamato. Um,
Yeah, Yamato could be the dog. That's very true.
So that would be all 13. But guess what? A lot of that's a stretch. Jinbei being a boar is a stretch. Chopper being a rat is a stretch. Brooke being or Frankie being a bull?
I
What?
mean,
You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, nah. But I like the theory.
yeah.
Do you so are you saying that Loki's not gonna be a member of the
I think it's
crew?
gonna be a Yamato situation or a Momo situation where like, yo, I'm down whenever you need me, but like I gotta for the battle to come, I gotta go get some stuff. I gotta go get some people, and I'll meet you at Laugh
That makes a
Um,
lot of sense.
you
I
know,
I think you got me to change my opinion potentially. But only because I still think Shanks is gonna join the crew. I think Shanks
you
is
think
gonna be the
Shanks is
last
gonna
member.
join Luffy's crew?
I think Shanks is gonna be the last member. Yeah, it makes too much sense to
I
me.
don't know how I feel about that. I just, I really like when I say I don't know how I don't know how I would feel about that. Like I'm just like, wow, your hero is now part of your crew. It would be nice. It'd be nice to see. You know, we've seen it before where like younger captains have had older, subordinates, but that'd be cool. It'd be cool.
I think that's what we're gonna get. If yeah, because I think he keeps playing this game on like who's the last member gonna be when he was somebody that we met all along, and it was Shanks. Like it makes too much sense to me, especially now that I know he got a twin brother and all that stuff that made me question Shanks is completely answered now. I think it's gonna be Shanks.
So what? Let me ask you back to Loki. Clearly, we find out that like Loki probably isn't the monster that everyone thinks he
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
What do you think's
yeah.
going on there?
I think he was like, I don't want anyone to see my dad differently than how they see him now. If I need to be the villain of Elbaf to protect my dad's like legacy, I can do that. I can do that for Elbaf. I can do that for my dad because they can't know that he was going to. He never stopped being a scumbag. Like he
So
stayed a
what?
scumbag this whole time
What is that,
just to
Nels?
get.
Is it
He's like, oh,
something?
I will act like a really good king and I'll give them a library. I will have them stop being warriors just so Emu can take over. And then he started to have like a change of heart just a little bit and told Loki as he was dying. And Loki was like, I can't
So
sell him out.
when Loki comes home and he sees his father and the 13 knights or whatever, you think that he is attacking them. You don't think it's the
Yeah.
other way around. See, I really don't know how to read that scene. I don't know if it's the knights are attacking his father, but you think it's he is attacking the knights.
Yeah, I
Or
mean, I
you
think he's getting stabbed by them. But I think he's like, yo, I want my money now. I
hmm
ain't doing nothing else for Elbaf until I get my money now. Or he heard a part of the planning, was like, you know what? That's where I draw the line. I ain't doing that. And they're like, what? Like, nah, man. Like, we gone too far. And he's like, nah, man. I don't want to do that. And Loki is seeing his dad like stick up for Elbaf, and like that's how he dies. And he's like, man, he's been a punk his
Yeah.
my entire life, but he still rolled for Elbaf, and all I gotta do is be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. So no one like looks at him for the scumbag he actually is.
Yeah, man. Elbaf, like you said earlier tonight, Elbaf has been so interesting.
Hmm.
I kind of don't know what to make of what all is happening. And I think we're going to be in Elbaf for still a long more time. I think manga wise, I think we're in Elbaf at least another 6 months, manga wise.
Yeah, we'll be in Elbaf till the end of the year,
Yeah,
to the end of the calendar year. Like this is our first flashback from Elbaf.
yeah,
We
yeah.
just got the flashback. We're gonna get another flashback because we got to figure out what's going on with Brooke. an old
Yeah.
girl, and that's gonna happen in this arc.
What do you think of
And there's got to
something?
be a training arc with Luffy figuring out how to use Conqueror's Haki the right
Yeah.
way. So we're gonna be here for a while.
Let me ask you something. What do you think has to happen before we leave Elbath regarding the story, the Straw Hats? What are some things that you think have to happen?
I think Luffy has to learn how to fight Emu.
Hmm.
Like this arc, he's gonna have to learn how to fight Emu and actually like hurt them.
Yeah.
Zoro will have to as well. I feel like Sanji is going to get Conqueror's Haki. I feel like Robin has to save, like, I think Robin has to save the library
Mm.
and Robin lore dumps and like mark a lot of lore. This end of this arc is gonna be like 2 chapters of
Like
Robin lore
everything
dumping.
Robin has ever known, she's gonna like just
She's gonna give us like a portion of the ancient kingdom and like some
mm,
she's going to drop stuff that we're like, okay, cool. Because
yeah.
she's gonna look at the passage. She's read all these books already. She knows stuff. So she's gonna lore dump a lot. Yeah, and I think yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it.
I, I agree with you. Some other things that I think might happen. I think the Sunny might get some type of an upgrade.
Mm, that'd be
Because
nice.
like Frankie like trying to like take that wood, and, like I think the Sunny, especially let's say Loki does join the crew. Maybe they need a bigger ship. So I think the Sunny is gonna get an upgrade. Do you, I want this, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Do you think Usopp's gonna get a power up of some sort?
I think Usopp will better understand his hockey.
Okay.
And that's at the most. I think we've all been yearning for this to be the Usopp chapter. I think Dressrosa or arc. I think Dressrosa was the Usopp arc. So
And
this
the
man
last
was
thing,
God D Usopp.
God, to Usopp. The
Five
last,
stars. Like we should have just been happy and got Conqueror's Haki. Dressrosa was the Usopp arc, and we just don't want to admit it because we're
yeah.
like, he
No.
said Elbaf. He's really excited about Elbaf. Like, dog, he had a power up. He had everything that we said we wanted in the Elbaf Usopp
Yeah.
arc. You know what I'm saying? So he got it. It was Dressrosa. So
I think there's something about Scopper and Chopper, like Chopper staying back to look at. I think
mhm.
Chopper is gonna get some type of information from him because Chopper is really interested in the hockey. That's the first time I've heard Chopper ever mention hockey.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, did Chopper mention the hockey or
well,
he's
he
just
didn't
like, how
mention.
did he do it?
Yeah, he didn't mention the hockey directly, but he's like, "How did he do that? We need to understand how he did that. I'm jumping off this cliff to go get him."
Hmm.
And I think that's going to have to do something with we've said before. Chopper is definitely going to make rumble balls for the minks, so they all
Yes.
can
Yes.
can turn into that full moon version of themselves. And I think he's going to take some information he learns from Gabon and apply it to those rumble balls.
Yeah, I don't think you can put hockey in a rumble ball though. Cause
But you could put it in a rope, Nels. Why couldn't you put it in a rumble ball? You could
damn.
knot it up and put it in a rope. Who's to say you can't put hockey in anything else?
Nah. You almost got me. You almost got me.
So you're saying you
Yeah.
don't you
I
don't
don't
think
think people gonna be
hockey
digesting hockey. Like I don't know, man. I don't know.
nails?
Hockey's always been about like the will of a individual
It
person.
was in a rope.
Uh, it
You
was
got it
in a
was in a
rope.
rope.
And I can't argue against that. I can't. That's why I was like, you almost got me. But I just don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna make popping, hockey verts.
I think the elements with Bonnie's devil fruit, with Chopper, I think put like I've said before, I think Bonnie and Puddin are going to play a big role in the final battle.
Mm. I agree that we're not done with pudding. I'll say that. I agree with
I
we're
mean,
not
we're
done with
clearly
pudding.
not. Big Mom said that they needed her to find the One Piece, correct?
Yeah. Hmm.
So
But we're gonna get, I mean, my thoughts is we're gonna get multiple people at Laugh Tale, and they're
yeah,
all gonna find their own way there, and that's why it's gonna be a big war, and it's gonna be bloodbath. It's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be terrible. But yeah, man, anything else before we wrap up?
man, just I said it before and I say it again. There's no waste in One Piece. Anything Oda puts in a chapter, and he stuffs them. These poor chapters, like, no, the panels, like, you can't put any. Oda's like, get in there, get like
Hmm.
he
Hmm.
stuffed these. Like, I don't know if you read any other
More,
mangas.
more.
I don't know if you read any other mangas, but like, I'll go to other mangas. I'm like, nice, clear, wide open space. And like Oda's like,
Hmm. I was
get
like,
it
what's
all
that?
in there.
Oda ain't met a blank space that he couldn't use. He's like, oh, I see this little area right here. I'll just draw a little panda right here. You know what I'm
Just let me put a little
saying?
panda right there. But yeah, I we're definitely coming to the end game. I think Oda is streamlining his writing, you
Yeah.
know, but it doesn't feel rushed. But I think he's streamlining his writing. And dude, I think to fully get One Piece, when we get to Latte, I think to fully get One Piece, you're gonna have to rewatch, redive, reread a lot of One Piece. Like Game of Thrones, how Game of Thrones hit so much harder when you go back. Like when you're if you're on like season 6 of Game of Thrones and you go back and you rewatch all the way through, it hits
Hmm.
harder. I think One Piece is like that. I think
Yeah, man.
you're gonna have to do a go back to really appreciate when we get to the end.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think so too. Can't wait. Can't wait. Well, thank you, Mark. And thank you, Pop Cult. Thank you for listening. We have new episodes every month. You can find us on all social media at Pop Cult Crew, PopCultCrew. Become a member of the Pop Cult at our Patreon, where you can see all of our full video episodes. Don't forget to rate us, review, and subscribe. And as always, join the cult. Peace.
Peace.
Pop Culture Crew.